This place is packed, it's loud, and we're ready for an exciting battle between these two local schools. The only regular season matchup this year between Thomas and Schroeder. Hello and welcome everybody. I am Joel Belfazer with Varsity Media, and I am joined by my colleagues Adam Earl and Chris Van Kampen here at Thomas High School. We're just past the midway point in the 2018-2019 season and looking forward to another competitive Section 5 Class A AA game as we get closer to this year's sectional tournament. We are just a few minutes away from tip-off here at Thomas. And Adam, we talked about this just a month ago. When we look at these rivalry games, you can kind of throw the records right out the window, can't you?
Yeah, definitely can. These teams are just looking for bragging rights in their hometown.
Well, we're going to pause here for a second for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets regular, the balls bursting in air, gained proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Great rendition of the national anthem there by a member of the Thomas High School. As we get set, these two teams come in. Webster-Thomas with a 6-5 record on the season. They played some really good teams. They actually had a very impressive showing as they hosted Irondequoit here not too long ago. It's they ended up winning that one by 25 points. And the Schroeder Warriors, the away team tonight, come in at a 4-6 record, but winners of 2 in a row. So let's take a look at today's starting lineups.
At forward, number 32, Josh Almond. At guard, number 14, Luke Usley. At guard, number 21, Colin Murphy. And at forward, number 15, JoJo Plummer.
So the starters for Webster Schroeder, number 14, Luke Inslee, number 15, JoJo Plummer, 20, Colin Donnelly, number 21, Colin Murphy, and then the other guard, number 32, Josh Holman. Now here's the lineups for the Webster-Thomas Titans.
Number 2, Tyler Williams. At guard, that's senior number 10, Garrett Reeves. At guard, that's junior number 11, Danny Pollard. At forward, that's junior number 15, Andrew Mason. And at center, that's senior number 23,
So that's the starting lineup for Webster-Thomas. We have Tyler Williams, Garrett Reeves, Danny Palmer, Andrew Mason, and it's center, Stephen Katz. And the name to circle there is certainly Andrew Mason, who's one of the top scorers in Section 5. He's averaging nearly 27 points a game, along with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. So he's really kind of Mr. Do-It-All for Webster-Thomas. So you got to figure that Schroeder's going to really be keying in on him today. So we're getting ready for this only battle this year between Webster-Thomas and Webster Schroeder. And jumping in the middle is going to be JoJo Plummer for Schroeder. And for Webster-Thomas, That jumper still trying to see. That was Garrett Reeves at the jump for Thomas. So ball out of bounds. It's going to be first possession to Webster-Thomas, who, as we mentioned, 6-5 record. They've lost a couple in a row, but we mentioned as well they played some really good teams this year. So up top, Thomas on their first possession, driving to the lane. Good crashing defense there by Webster Schroeder. And we're going to have our first foul of the game.
Warrior foul, 32, Josh on his first team service.
So side out for Webster-Thomas. Josh Hellman picks up his first foul. Nice inbounds pass into the middle. One up for two, no good. Rebound there. Back up, no good again. And Webster Schroeder's going to come away with this. So Webster Schroeder on their first possession, working the ball around the perimeter. Ball's going to be kicked, so it's going to be out of bounds for Schroeder. So for first possession here for the Warriors, game just underway here at Webster-Thomas High School. We're starting a little bit early tonight. That was a very quick JV game, so we're about 10 minutes early, 15 minutes. As Schroeder gets on the board first, that's a three ball by Luke Inslee to get things going. So right out of the gate, Webster Schroeder with a 3-0 early lead, and we're going to have a foul inside as Tyler Williams was in the lane. Going to be possession underneath for Webster-Thomas. Williams with the inbounds pass. And a quick trigger for a three, no good. And there was Mason pulling up for three, so he's trying to get going early. As we mentioned, Thomas is leading scorer. Schroeder being patient, feeds it inside to Plummer. Nice up and under move, the scoop shot, and good. So a quick 5-0 lead for Webster Schroeder. That was a great inside play there by JoJo Plummer. One of the top two scorers for Webster Schroeder. And right back the other way comes Thomas, and they're on the board. A nice floater in the lane by Danny Palmer to cut the lead to 3. Good help defense there by Webster-Thomas. Ball's kicked back outside. That's going to be a 3-ball, no good by Josh Hellman, and Thomas comes back the other way. It's Mason leading the charge. He's good at that pull-up 3, and there it is. No good this time, but good offensive rebound there by Webster-Thomas. Back outside, another wide-open 3. This one no good. Plummer grabs the rebound, and back comes Webster Schroeder. Into the lane, Plummer loses the ball. And one taken away by Tyler Williams, and then he turns it over, right back over to Webster Schroeder, feeds up, down, and the easy layup missed by Colin Donnelly. Looks like he was a little too far under the basket. So a good break there for Webster-Thomas as they come back the other way. Jab step over into the corner. Back on top to Mason. He squares up, thinks about taking the 3, gets a good high pick. Up fake, back out. That's going to be a quick trigger there. No good. That shot by Danny Palmer. Rebounded by Plummer. And here is Webster Schroeder. It's a good look at a 3 there by Luke Inslee. No good. Tracked down by Palmer. Titans looking to push the ball. I think we're going to see a lot of up and down from these two teams. Good hands there by Webster Schroeder with the deflection and the steal. And then back the other way. That was Palmer taking it right back. Good find underneath. A quick turnaround. No good, but we got a foul as Garrett Reeves is going to make his way to the free throw line for 2.
Warrior foul, number 20.
First one up and good. Second one is up and good. So 5-4 lead for Webster Schroeder here early, midway through this first quarter of play. Little zone from Webster-Thomas, trying to get Schroeder to take the shot outside, but Plummer goes right, knifes right through the defense. Good up and under. JoJo Plummer for 2, and the lead grows to 3 again for Webster Schroeder. He's a good player there. He's quick inside the middle of that zone. Mason keeps the dribble, but gets double teamed. Good pressure there. Nearly turns it over, and Webster Schroeder's very active on defense so far. Over in the corner, a wide open Palmer. He's going to knock down the 3, and we got a tie ball game. Great job there sticking with it and finding Palmer in the corner for that 3. Very active in this 2-3 zone. They find him underneath, though. That's a great pass and a great finish by Colin Donnelly, and we're going to have a timeout on the play. I think Thomas is going to call a timeout and try to set their defense. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. So it's going to be Webster-Thomas ball coming back the other way. 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Webster Schroeder with a 9-7 lead, and there's another turnover. Good hands down underneath as Plummer comes back the other way, gets to the lane, and good. And JoJo Plummer showing his speed here on the break, so he's got the early lead for Webster Schroeder with 6 points. As Mason comes back the other way, no good. Good defense there. Ball batted around, and Webster Schroeder with possession. Maybe at the end of the first. So it's going to be side out for Webster Schroeder. Running the point, Colin Murkey for the Warriors. And a great crowd. This crowd is really filled in. We expected it to be a packed house, and it's certainly living up to expectations. We haven't heard the students get too loud yet, but I'm sure after a couple home buckets, this crowd will get on its feet. So Thomas back the other way, trailing by 4, 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Ball goes back outside, Thomas for 3, and good. That was Nick Linder into the game for Webster-Thomas, cuts this lead to 1. It's a good-looking shot. This Webster-Thomas team can really fire from outside when they're on. We saw that in a few games earlier this season, especially on this home court. Feed inside to Plummer. Nice move again, and he is just having his way inside for the Warriors. Great move there. JoJo Plummer with his 8th point of this game. Quick 3 the other way. Mason, good. Doesn't take much for him to get going. His first 3 of the game. As we mentioned, coming into today, averaging nearly 27 points a game, one of the top scorers in Section 5. We got ourselves a tie ball game with 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Schroeder into the lane, good double team, kicks back out for a wide open 3. And we're going to have a whistle on the play. We have a foul underneath, so it's going to be Schroeder ball underneath. That's team foul number 2 on Webster-Thomas, just 3 fouls for the Warriors. So good clean game so far. Into the lane. Off the backboard, no good. Good rebound underneath by Webster-Thomas. Out comes Mason. He's got men all over him. He draws a crowd. Good crossover move. He's going to drive the lane. Pump fake. Got it up and good. For the basket and the foul. So Mason starting to heat up, scoring the last 5 points for Webster-Thomas, giving them their first lead of the game. It was a good up and under move there by Mason. Free throw is good, and we should mention he's also a pretty good free throw shooter, coming in at 92%. So Plummer back the other way, goes between the legs, goes into the lane. He's fouled, and he's going to go to the line. So a quick response there by JoJo Plummer. Really been impressed with his quickness so far in the middle of that zone for the Warriors. First one from Plummer is good. And the next one for the junior rattles home. I believe that's 10 points for JoJo Plummer in 16-15 game. Just under a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Mason's going to start things on offense for Webster-Thomas. Working a little motion up top. Quick shot is no good. Rebound, a couple of rebounds offensively for Webster-Thomas, and eventually up and in. Good work down there by Danny Palmer to push the lead back up to 3. 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. Webster Schroeder likely will hold for one of the last shots of this quarter. There's a few second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so they will have to get it off and give Webster-Thomas one more shot, but not with a whole lot of time and not with that foul on the play. That's going to be team foul number 4 on Webster-Thomas. So now Webster Schroeder can indeed hold for the final shot. So here we go, 15 seconds to go. Going to hold for the last shot. Driving to the lane, good step in front by Mason. 4 seconds left, got to get this one up. Going to have a chance to pull up for the last shot, and it's blocked. So a good play there on defense to prevent Mason from getting that shot off. And we're through one here at Webster-Thomas, the O'Rourke Gymnasium. The score, the home team 18, and the visiting Schroeder Warriors 15. We're going to take a few seconds, and we will be back in about 30 seconds. All right, we are back underway here in the second quarter. Webster Schroeder with the ball for this first possession of the second half. They're going to fire off a quick three, and that's no iron. And that's going to go back to Webster-Thomas. So it was a good-looking shot, but didn't draw iron. So 18-15, just starting the second quarter here at Webster-Thomas High School. The home Titans with an 18-15 advantage. A lot of movement on offense, and Mason's going to decide to pull up and take the shot himself. It's no good. Schroeder crashes the boards, and they're going to come back the other way. Good defense out there by Nick Linder, preventing that fast break. Schroeder working things around the perimeter. We're going to get a little ticky-tack foul, that time on Garrett Reeves. It's going to be team foul number 5, so both teams kind of creeping up into that bonus situation. It's going to be ball underneath for Webster Schroeder. Inbounding the ball, Colin Murky, 6'2 senior. It's going to go up top to Colin Donnelly, back over to quick first step. He's going to get bumped. And again, that's going to be another blocking foul. This one on number 13, Nick Linder. It's going to be his second, team 6. So one more, and Schroeder's going to be in the bonus. So a couple quick fouls here to begin this quarter for Webster-Thomas. They are playing aggressive defense. That's going to happen, but got to avoid trying to keep Webster Schroeder on the free throw line for the entire second quarter as well. Thomas back in man-to-man defense. The first quarter, Plummer was able to make his way into the middle of that zone and get some easy buckets. This time he drives and dishes for 3, and that one's good. Josh Hallman, 4-3 to tie this one up, 18-18. A lot of hands in the middle there with Mason trying to get that ball away, and they do eventually come away with the steal. Driving to the lane, up, no good. That was Inslee for Webster Schroeder, and back comes Thomas, and another deflection. This one's rolling around the ground. Good job by Palmer saving that one, and back out to Mason. Back over to Palmer. He's going to drive the lane. Got the shot up, but no good. A couple hands in his face as it gets knocked to the ground, but it's going to stay Webster-Thomas basketball.
Now in the game, Titans, number 25, Evan Mitchell.
Evan Mitchell checking in for Webster-Thomas, 6'3" junior. An errant pass there. They were just not on the same page, and it's going to be a turnover back over to Webster Schroeder. Plummer fakes the 3. He's going to drive the lane, dish back out. Oh, nice pass underneath. There's a great find for Colin Donnelly for the easy 2. Taking advantage of that pressure defense by Webster-Thomas. There's Mason's going to launch a 3. That one no good. Rebound to Inslee. So they're doing a pretty good job there controlling Mason on the defensive end. And back the other way at 3. Also not drawing any iron. The shot is no good. And we apologize, we actually don't have a 24 on our roster. So Webster-Thomas basketball, just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Webster Schroeder with a 20-18 lead. Close game, just as expected. Nice full crowd here at Webster-Thomas High School. Trying to run Mason off some screens over in the corner. He's just going to pull it out and launch. No good. A good offensive rebound there by Webster-Thomas. Palmer's going to go back in the lane. He's going to get blocked, but he's going to draw the foul. A great job there on the boards. I think Webster Schroeder's doing a pretty good job on Mason, trying to keep him from getting open looks. It's when the other guys from his teammates got to step in, and they got plenty of guys capable of leading the team in scoring. mentioned, this team can shoot the ball very well. Actually, the entire team on the season shooting 50% and 36% from the three-point line, so pretty respectable numbers. As a team, 75% free throw shooters. Even though Palmer with the first one missed, that's also a very good team free throw percentage as well. He does make the second one and cuts it to a one-point game. Good screen inside, finds JoJo Plummer with the easy layup. It was nicely played there by Webster Schroeder. It'll be 0-4. It's Mason underneath, got to draw a crowd, and nice dish over the corner, the hoop and the arm by Evan Mitchell, but that was all created by the double team on Andrew Mason. Great job by Mitchell to take the contact there and complete the play. He's going to get one more shot to try to tie this game up. He's no good. Rebounded by Ethan Fame for Webster Schroeder. Quite the football player. I remember filming him this year. Inslee thought about a long three, but wisely pulled that one back. Trying to get that ball into Plummer. He got Mason matched up with him on defense, and those two going back and forth at each other. As expected, rebound to Webster-Thomas, and back come the Titans. Mason with a quick first step, drives in the lane, and no, can't get it to go, but he's going to draw the foul and head to the free throw line for two. That's going to be team foul number 8 on Webster Schroeder. So it's free throws here on out for both teams on every whistle. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter of action. Kind of back and forth game, a closely contested contest as expected. Seems to be every time these two teams meet. First one's up and good from Mason. This guy's met 3 times last year, with Thomas actually taking the first 2, both close games, and then Schroeder getting a little revenge in the first round of Class A sectionals, knocking them off 64-58. So you don't see a lot of lopsided games between these two schools. Good pressure defense over on the corner. Schroeder's going to keep possession. They're working the ball around the perimeter. Still trying to get Plummer, move him around.
Attention fans, with the
And I'm not sure if that was a foul or a timeout, but we do have a timeout on the play. So we have just under 3 minutes to go here. Tie ball game. Pretty entertaining so far. Great crowd here. Pretty much standing room only. Yeah, both schools represented. They're fans. Can only see the one side from our video angle, but not a lot of room if you wanna be here watching this game in person. And if you're not and you're watching the stream, we greatly appreciate you joining us for this live stream, our Varsity Media Section 5 Boys Basketball Game of the Week. And we got a lot of good games coming up. We look ahead next weekend. We're going to be live streaming Pittsford Sutherland versus Pittsford Mendon. That would be take 2 of the Rainbow Classic. That first game came down to the wire with Mendon pulling it off. Actually, the closest Mendon's really been to being defeated this year. And then that following weekend, a midweek game, we got a big one in Class AA versus Class A, and that's going to be McQuaid versus Irondequoit. And that's going to be at McQuaid, and that place is going to be loud, that's for sure. Not a very big venue, but it's going to be filled, and we're going to bring that one to you live as well. McQuaid versus Irondequoit 2 weeks from today, I believe it is. But back to tonight's action. Webster Schroeder with the ball. 2.5 minutes to go here in this first half. They're going to feed it into Plummer. He's going to draw a crowd. He's going to get fouled, and he's going to get back to the free throw line. So JoJo comes into today averaging 14.4 points a game in the 10 games that Webster Schroeder has played this year. Also throw in 4 rebounds a game for the junior. First one up and no good. I mentioned after a rough stretch in the middle of the schedule, Webster Schroeder's gotten back in their winning ways, knocking off Canandaigua and Penfield their last 2 times out to get to 4 wins on the season. So playing some pretty good basketball right now. Second one is good, and we got a substitution for Thomas. That's number 25, Evan Mitchell, back into the game. A 3 ball from the corner is a little bit long, and Webster Schroeder comes down with it. Colin Murky with the rebound for Webster Schroeder. And you can see all that outside defense just diving down on Plumbers. They're trying to feed it inside. They let a man free down there, and that's number 20, Colin Donnelly. A little too much attention played on JoJo, and Donnelly got free for the easy bucket. Corner 3, Thomas, good. Tie game. Nice looking shot over in the corner by Garrett Reeves. Penetration and kick out. That's what this Thomas team does so well. And Schroeder on the other end, they're going to try to match it, but no good. They're going to have a loose ball. The hustle there by both teams. That was Tyler Williams trying to track that one down for Webster-Thomas, but it's going to stay Webster Schroeder basketball. Drive to the lane, good turnaround, off the glass, no good. Rebound to Williams, and back come the Titans. Quick pull up, oh, nice shot. Danny Palmer with the step back jumper, nothing but net. And Thomas regains the 2-point lead. We're nearing the end of the first half, just a few ticks over a minute. Schroeder with the pull up, no good. Nice strong rebound underneath by Garrett Reeves. Thomas can get a 2-for-1 here if they go quick. That's what Mason's going to do, is he kicks it back out. Now he gets the ball back in the corner. Going to drive baseline. He's going to get bumped, and he's going to get himself to the line. So a little bit too aggressive by number 24, that man that we don't have the name for, unfortunately. So we apologize. As Mason's going to get to the line. A chance to extend this Thomas lead with 47 seconds to go in the first half of play. First one's up and good. So one more for Mason, and that one is good as well. The biggest lead of the game for Webster-Thomas, 29-25, 43 seconds to go, first half. Looking to counter this little mini run by the Titans. Fake 3 and drive the lane, kick back outside for 3. Luke Inslee, no good. Rebound, Mason. And now they're going to hold for the final shot of the first half. And Mason slowly up the court as Thomas sets up one final offensive set. We need some sort of clear out formation, a little pick and roll. Runs off the screen, now does it himself, gets a double team, kicks it over in the corner. Palmer is going to launch a 3. No good. There's one last heave for Webster Schroeder. It is no good. So we are at halftime. 29-25 Webster-Thomas. This has been a very entertaining game as expected. The Schroeder Warriors jumped out early with a strong first quarter. Webster-Thomas kind of settled in a little bit, cut into that lead. And now it's a 4-point game going into halftime. So looks like they're going to do a 12-minute half. So we're going to take a quick break. We will be back for the start of the third quarter here at Webster-Thomas High School. Your score, Webster-Thomas 29, Webster Schroeder 25. We'll be right back.
Next rank, Jake Smith, Dutch Hennenberg, Kyle Dresbeck, Sam Hilfiger, and Junior Watkins, your 4th grade North Coast boys basketball team. Come on out, boys.
Should I do a preemptive power down?
Sam Hilfiger to Jake. Junior with the rebound. Dutch coming down. Jackson Coles. Edward McCann. Jumper. Juniors all over the boards. Dutch, big rebound. Alex, one times it. Great pass by Dutch. Everett takes control. Back over to Jackson Coles. To Brady Coles. Good patience on this offense. They set it up. Good defense going the other way. James Sheehan. Sam Hilfiger over to Junior. Up. Loose ball. Hustling. Alex with the breakaway. Jackson with a big rebound. Oh, look at these skills. Shaheen getting it done.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Varsity Media Section 5 Boys Basketball Game of the Week. We're at halftime here with Webster-Thomas leading Webster Schroeder 29-25. And as expected, a really entertaining game, a very close game, as it usually is between these two teams. And some really good defense, too, so far, right?
Yeah, they've been pretty stingent on both sides. I mean, it's been a little back and forth with offensive possessions. There's just not much room inside to score.
Yeah, both these teams come in averaging a little over 60 points a game, so neither of them are halfway through, and that's a credit to their defense. I would say for Webster Schroeder, a great job getting JoJo Plummer involved early. He did a great job kind of carving up that Webster-Thomas zone, which they quickly switched out of in the second quarter, and then for Thomas, they tried to get Andrew Mason going, which knocked down a couple big buckets, but he really did a better job of getting other people easy buckets and then also getting to the line there in the second quarter. So we don't have official stats, but he's got to be up around 10 points. Plummer about the same, right around 10, 12 points. So looking forward to a really good second half of play. And this is our first experience at Webster-Thomas versus Webster Schroeder basketball going live. Pretty fun environment.
Yeah, students seem to be involved pretty good. Getting a little noisy here and there.
I don't know if you can see, probably not in the shot right now, but we have the ESPN production crew up top there for the Webster-Thomas side. Next time we're just going to plug into their feed and let them call the action, because I'm sure they're getting into it during this game. So just about set here for the second half of play. Looking forward to a great finish to this one. And as mentioned, looking forward to streaming a lot more good Section 5 boys and girls games. We've done a handful so far, which you can see on our YouTube channel. And we would say, if you're interested in watching any of these live streams coming up, to subscribe to the Varsity Media YouTube page, the YouTube channel, so you can get first alerts and notifications of not only when we set up new streams, but also when we go live, so you can tune in at any time. We mentioned our upcoming streams next weekend, Pittsford-Sutherland versus Pittsford-Mendon. That's always a good one. This one's going to be at Mendon High School. And then that following week, McQuaid welcomes in Irondequoit, so a pair of really good teams who've had some really good battles over the year. Looking forward to that one as well, but we're really looking forward to the second half of this one. 4-point lead for Thomas, who will get the ball first to start things off here in the second half of play. So they're going to feed the ball inside, a little inside-outside game. They're going to kick it back out for a three. This one is short, but a good offensive rebound. Back out to Palmer. He's going to fire from three. That one's not short. That one's good. A good-looking shot there by Danny Palmer. So Thomas picking right back up from behind the arc, knocking in an early three to push this lead to 7 early here in the third quarter. Inside to Plummer. Quick first move to the basket. Going to get double-teamed and going to turn the ball over. Good hands down underneath by Webster-Thomas. Looked like that ball was kicked, but they're going to let this one play on. Shot is no good. We got some bodies all on the floor, and they're going to call a travel on the play. This one's going to stay Webster Schroeder possession. Good hustle there by both teams. Couldn't see who that was, but just couldn't hold on to it for Webster-Thomas, and it's going to stay Schroeder basketball. Up top to Plummer, who's going to start things off, and they're going to work things around the perimeter. Good movement underneath by Schroeder. He's going to draw a foul. It's good movement without the ball by Colin Donnelly. A 6'5" senior for Webster Schroeder. So first foul of the half goes to Webster Schroeder. Ball back in bounds. Plummer's going to get called for steps there. Got a little too excited. It's going to be Webster-Thomas basketball. Good drive and kick, but that ball is taken away. Luke Inslee is going to take it all the way to the other end, and good. A great defensive play and good running of the court by Luke Inslee for the layup for Webster Schroeder and cut this lead to 5. turnover there as Webster Schroeder gets possession, comes back the other way. Good stutter step to the lane, up, no good. Colin Murky with that attempt. Mason with the ball is going to pull up for a long three. Ball's going to go out of bounds and back over to Schroeder. We're going to see a little full court pressure here by Webster-Thomas, a little semi-pressure. Try to speed Schroeder up, force a couple turnovers. Now the crowd's getting into this. Webster-Thomas crowd wants to see some defense, and they've been playing some pretty good defense so far, that's for sure. A screen and roll over in the corner. A collapsing defense by the Titans. It's Danny Palmer with good defense there on Inslee, not letting them get into the lane. Gonna be a long three in the corner, no good. Too long by Donnelly. Back comes Webster-Thomas. Mason looked inside, but held on to the ball. It's a good battle between Mason and Plummer there. As the pull-up jumper by Tyler Williams is good. 7-point lead for Webster-Thomas. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the third quarter. A fast-moving game. It was a very fast-moving JV game. Actually started a little bit early. I'm sure some of you tuned in, and it was probably halfway or end of the first quarter already. A little ahead of schedule tonight, as Webster Schroeder is going to take a full timeout. 5 minutes to go here, third quarter. Webster-Thomas with a 34-27 lead. As we're taking in the sights and sounds from the Thomas student section and parent. So these two teams about halfway through their schedule. Next time out, Thomas is going to travel and will face Spencerport on January 18th. Meanwhile, Schroeder will face a very good Rush Henrietta team. And looking up and down both these teams' schedules, some really good competition. There's just so many good teams in Section 5 basketball that it's hard to imagine anybody going through a whole season undefeated. We currently have a few teams undefeated. East High, Pittsford, Mendon. But it's just tough skating through this whole schedule without a blemish. So expect to see a few losses here and there for some of those teams, but a lot of good competition. There's a number of teams that could really win Class AA, Class A, and Class B from what we've seen so far this year. So Schrader will start things off. A motion up top, and then along the baseline is Inslee. A little quick turnaround, no good. Plummer with the rebound and the foul. A great offensive rebound down low by JoJo Plummer. Puts it back up and gets fouled. He's going to cut into this lead, which is now 5, but he's going to head to the line for a free throw. Schroeder, a 60% free throw shooting team on the season. Plummer's going to knock this one in. A little pressure here by Webster Schroeder. Got to pick up the pace a little bit. Approaching the midway point in the third quarter. A strong defense by both teams. It's tough to get a whole lot of easy baskets either way. Mason is going to draw the foul, but even that was highly contested. Got a little bit of a bump. I think we're going to whistle number 20, Colin Donnelly, with the bump. Mason's going to head to the line for a pair, which, as mentioned, he's at 92% on the season, probably a tick higher than that after today. First one up for Mason is good. And one more for the junior. Up and good. Didn't jinx him. 9 times out of 10, you talk about somebody's good free throw shooter and he misses the next one. Good defense there by Thomas, forcing that pass and the steal. Really clogging up those lanes as Mason pulls up for a 3. No good. Rebound to Donnelly the other way for Webster Schroeder. Murphy's going to go all the way and he's going to get blocked. That was Tyler Williams with the rejection, and he's going to take it all the way to the other end, and he's going to get blocked. So nothing easy for either team. 36-30, more than midway through this third quarter. Oh, good feed underneath, but the layup is no good. But a steal on the other end. Williams, the ball's going to go out of bounds. That was a great look. Evan Mitchell with the quick feed inside. Layup no good. Back over to Webster Schroeder. Same offense for Webster Schroeder. A little motion up top and then weak side ball screen. Going to get a blocking foul on Webster-Thomas, just their first of this third quarter. So neither team in foul trouble yet. Schroeder will inbounds from underneath. Top trying to get it down into Plummer. And kick back outside. This time it's Inslee. To the lane and good. Good play there by Luke Inslee. He's just a sophomore. Second year on varsity. All right, good deflection there. Turnover right back to Inslee. He's going to lay it up and good. Nice little floater in the lane. Just like that, 2-point ball game. Almost another steal by Schroeder as they dial up this defense. They're able to get the rebound on the missed 3, and they got a chance to tie this thing up. Set up with a little high ball screen, try to get it underneath, but good job by Webster-Thomas to get in the passing lane. Go inside to Plummer, splits a double team, and they're going to get him for steps. It's hard to tell from this angle, but a little spin move between a couple defenders and apparently just took one step too many. Gonna have a blocking foul up top. So Thomas ball inbounding underneath. Run some screens down low. Looking for Mason, but then we had a cut all outside the ball and a great rejection. Looked like an easy 2 points. Just in from nowhere with the blindside rejection, and now we're going to get a foul on the other end. This one's going to go against Nick Linder. So that's going to be team foul number 3 for Thomas, and the 3rd on Linder. So even when there's wide open lanes, it seems like somebody comes out of nowhere and makes a nice block or takes a charge. There's not too many easy buckets in this game. There's a 3 by Inslee, no good. And a rebound by Palmer, and we're going to get a foul on Evan Ferrari. It's going to be one of those little ticky-tack fouls to try to avoid. But team foul number 3, excuse me, for Webster Schroeder. A little high ball screen, pop back out to Mason. Gonna fire with a man in his face and drains it. That was a dagger by Andrew Mason, a man in his face. Unfazed on that three-point attempt. The lead back up to 5 for Webster-Thomas. Approaching 1 minute to go in the third quarter. The drive to lane, kick back out, wide open three is really long. But an offensive rebound for Webster Schroeder gives him one more opportunity. Shot clock didn't reset. But we got a steal by Williams. He's going to go all the way, lay it up. No good. And the rebound by Webster Schroeder. So Williams with a great play, can't capitalize, and it's still a 5-point game with 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Inside to Plummer. Good defense there by Palmer. Knocks that ball away. It's going to be Thomas basketball underneath. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time. 42 seconds to go in the third quarter. Murky back in for Schroeder. Is going to inbounds the ball. Trying to get it inside. Use that height advantage, and they do. That's Donnelly posting up with that 6'5" frame. And he's going to get the foul call. He's going to head to the line for a pair of free throws. So 2 free throws for Webster Schroeder. Donnelly's first up and in and out. Unfriendly rim there. A senior forward, 6'5". One more to go as we got a couple late substitutions for Schroeder. John Paul McCartan, one of the team captains, checks in for Webster Schroeder. Next one's up and rolls in. So a friendly rim that time. A little opposite luck. So 39-35 as the shot clock's off. And Webster-Thomas can hold for one final shot of this quarter. Gonna get the ball in the hands of Mason. He's going to give it right back to Williams. Now back to Mason. They're going to clear it out. And look for a little one-on-one here for the junior. Looking for the crossover. Watch that pull-up three. That's his shot right there. In and out. So good-looking shot. One last tee for Webster Schroeder. No good. And we have completed 3 quarters of basketball here at Webster-Thomas O'Rourke Gymnasium. And the score 39-35 Webster-Thomas. And every time you look, it just doesn't seem like one team might be playing good, but you look up at the scoreboard and it's 2 points, 4 points. So it's just neither team can really pull away in this contest, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're just super scrappy underneath. I mean, there's no real room in the paint to get a shot off. So they're going to have to score from the outside by the looks of things, the way things are going.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are kind of working outside to inside, back to outside, looking for that three. And have had some success, but it seems like both teams have had more success getting the ball inside, creating double teams, finding an open man, or even on fast breaks. So we'll see what this fourth quarter has in store for us. I am Joel Balthaser with Varsity Media, joined by Adam Earl and Chris Van Kampen up running the camera for us today. We thank everybody for joining us. This is our 4th or 5th live stream of the season, and looking forward to continuing on through the rest of the regular season into sectionals, and then also into lacrosse season for all you lacrosse fans. The Webster-Thomas, Webster Schroeder lacrosse fans will be live streaming as many games as we can this lacrosse season. So subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get notified of all the games as they come up. Be the first one notified when we start streaming if you ever want to watch a game that is being streamed by Varsity Media. But we thank you for watching with us tonight. If you were here, you'd probably be squished in somewhere. Hopefully you're enjoying this from the comfort of your own home. being streamed through YouTube, so you can always pull this up on your TV at home with the YouTube app installed. So we start things off in the fourth quarter. Webster Schroeder with possession, trailing by 4. And they're running JoJo Plummer off some screens, trying to get him involved. But to the lane, ball's going to be stripped, but that was Colin Murphy, and it looks like it's going to be off his leg. So another good defensive possession there by Webster-Thomas. And they will have possession with that 4-point lead, to the delight of the Webster-Thomas faithful. Mason's going to set things up for the Titans. They run a couple off the ball screens, and I think we're going to get a moving screen on that one. So an offensive foul there is going to turn the ball back over to Webster Schroeder. Murphy's going to run the point there for the Warriors. Good defense down low by Danny Palmer. He is just not letting JoJo Plummer get the ball. And as I say that, he gets the ball, but great defense as they double team him and force the turnover. This Webster-Thomas defense is just smothering. As Palmer pulls back, takes the 3, in and out. Unlucky rim there. Schroeder with the rebound back the other way. Just can't get a good shot, but Inslee's going to create that one for himself and get that one in, and it's a 2-point game. Great move on the inside by Luke Inslee. Good movement off the ball by the Titans as Palmer takes it all the way, no good. Schroeder comes down with a rebound, that's Donnelly. So they got a chance to tie this game up. Still a lot of basketball left to play, a little over 6 minutes to go in the final quarter of play. Just a 2-point game, a very low-scoring game. And a great defensive performance by both these teams. Plummer with the spin move underneath is going to get fouled. Let's see if they're going to call it a shooting foul, and they are. So he's going to earn a trip to the charity stripe for a pair and a chance to tie this game up. First one is no good for the junior Plummer. Comes into tonight averaging a little over 14 points a game and 4 rebounds. Shooting a very respectable 57% from the field. A great field goal percentage. Second one is good. So we got a 1-point game. 6 minutes to go from Webster-Thomas High School. Little Wednesday night basketball. And that's going to be way out of bounds. An errant pass there by Mason. So don't look now. Webster Schroeder with a chance to take the lead. So it's going to be a full timeout. We're going to pause for about 15 seconds and join you back here. Your score, Webster-Thomas 39, Webster Schroeder 38 from Webster-Thomas High School.
At Varsity Media, we offer everything under the sun when it comes to media. Action photography, live videography, live streaming, college recruiting videos, social media videos, and so much more. Visit our website at www.varsitymedia.net or visit us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search Varsity Media. Varsity Media, we highlight your...
And we're back. Just under 6 minutes to go here in this final quarter of play. This game's pretty much been everything we had hoped it would be and thought it would be. A closely contested ball game. A lot of good defense. Great crowd on hand. They've been into this thing from the get-go. Haven't been a lot of runs, so haven't been a lot of huge explosions by the crowd, but they've certainly been into this game throughout. I'm looking forward to a great finish here at Thomas High School. So Murphy will bring the ball up for the Warriors, looking for their first lead in quite some time. I think they had the early lead in the game. A little ticky-tack foul up top. That one's going to go against Palmer. And Webster-Thomas already over the limit. That's going to be team foul number 7 for the Titans. So it's going to be a 1-on-1 situation for JoJo Plummer. Right back to the line. The front end is good. It's that one to rattle home. So one more coming from for Plummer with a chance to give Webster Schroeder the lead. This one's up and good. So Webster Schroeder does indeed take the lead, 40-39. Gets the Warrior faithful up and going. A lot of back screens on the opposite side by Thomas as they find Mason underneath. That ball's going to be knocked away, but they're going to get a foul called on number 20, Colin Donnelly. That's going to be team foul number 5 on Webster Schroeder, and that's that's foul number 3 on Donnelly. So Webster will inbound the ball underneath. Good hands there by Webster Schroeder, and they end up forcing the turnover. Inslee comes away with it, but that was good hands by Donnelly to knock that one free. Comes Murphy driving the lane. He's going to kick it back out for a 3 from Donnelly, and that one's no good. Hit the front side of the rim. Mason comes back the other way for Webster-Thomas. He thought about pulling up for a 3, but he decided to pass it over to Palmer, who drives the lane up and good. What a great looking shot under the basket. He was nearly out of bounds and managed to reach back and get that one in. So back and forth we go. Webster-Thomas now in the lead, 41-40. Inslee to the lane. He's going to get fouled and good. So another lead changes. Luke Inslee drives the lane, gets the foul and the bucket. So 42-41, Webster Schroeder. Chance to make this a 2-point game. Really been impressed with his dribble drive today. He's really gotten in the lane several times. And he's either been able to get up good shots or find an open teammate as he knocks down the free throw to give his team a 2-point lead. So a good game today from Luke Inslee, leading scorer for Webster Schroeder, averaging nearly 15 a game. Mason double team, try to pull up for 3, no good. Finds in the middle of the paint and then kicks it back outside for a long 3. Rattles off the backboard and back over to Webster Schroeder. Inslee comes back the other way. Now Murphy with the ball, running the point for the Warriors. Checked on defense pretty good. Inslee tries to drive the baseline and is going to turn it over. That ball is going to go off his leg. So it's great defense underneath by Danny Palmer. He is really some defender. We've watched him most of this game on Inslee, also on Plummer. He's pretty much shutting down whoever's getting the ball, making life a little difficult. So Thomas with another chance to tie this thing up or take the lead as we hit the midway point of the 4th quarter of play here at Webster-Thomas High School. Palmer's open for 3, sets it up, fires, no good. It's a little long, rebound by Murphy, and we're going to get a travel on the play. It looks like he's in a little bit of disbelief, but that ball's going to go right back over to Webster-Thomas. Looks like their feet got tangled a little bit there. And I think that's Murphy with a little bit of either blood on his jersey or a rip. I can't tell. Either way, he's got to come out of the game. So Plummer's going to check in for Schroeder. So underneath, they got an offensive foul. They got a push on the play. So off the ball trying to set a screen. That's going to be number 5 on Steven Katz, so he is going to foul out of this ball game. So a tough break there as Thomas looked to tie this game up. And that's going to be team foul number 9. So next foul for Webster-Thomas is going to be double bonus for the Warriors. There's that set offense for Webster Schroeder, and they're going to get a travel, I believe, on JoJo Plummer. Looks like he took a step before he started dribbling. So a couple turnovers here, and the ball right back over to Webster-Thomas. Again, looking to tie this up or take the lead. Got Mason posting up inside, but just too many Schroeder defenders in his way. Now he's going to get the ball up top. Quick first step. Going to drive the lane. Scoop, and no good. And a great save down underneath by Donnelly to save that for Webster Schroeder. And back come the Warriors. Driving the lane. Ball stripped away. Going to stay Webster Schroeder possession. Unless they got a foul. They do have a foul on the play. They're going to call that on Tyler Williams, as Josh Hellman's going to earn a trip to the line 4-2 for Webster Schroeder. First one for Hellman, up and good. One more free throw for the junior. 32, Josh Hellman. Second one up and good. So 4-point lead now for Webster Schroeder. Thomas head coach Griffin Cole's making some substitutions. Going to try to get some offense going here with his team trailing by 4 points. So they tried to run a little double screen, a little screen down low for Mason, and we're going to have a foul called on JoJo Plummer, just his first, team's 5th. So 2 more fouls before Thomas heads to the line. Long inbounds pass to Mason underneath, a little fadeaway, good. Little one-handed fadeaway jumper, good for Mason, who cuts this lead in half. It's had a relatively quiet second half, but it doesn't take much to get him going. And that's all it took to get this Thomas crowd going. They got the defense chant going up from the student section up top. Plummer down the lane, knifes his way through for the layup. Good move there by JoJo Plummer to push this lead back up to 4. Just kind of split 3 Thomas defenders on the way to the hoop. So Mason with the quick trigger outside, no good. Rebound snagged by Donnelly, and we got a foul on the play. I think they might have called that ball off the rafter up top. So that ball's going to be out of bounds and over to Webster Schroeder. Quickly back down the other end. They're going to pull this one out, though, and set up their offense. Working the ball around the perimeter. Trying to run some guys off some off-the-ball screens. Now it's Murky up top, draws a double team, kicks it back out. Ball moving around the outside, but Thomas is just almost daring him to take that 3. Drives the lane, no good. Webster-Thomas comes down with a rebound. And here comes Mason with the crossover. He's going to go right to the lane, and he's going to get rejected. Big-time defensive rejection by Colin Donnelly. The 6'5 senior was not having any of that. Got a long wingspan on Donnelly's. And so they're going to get a foul underneath. That's going to be called on Inslee. Palmer's going to get to the line for 2. So good look underneath on the inbounds play, and Danny Palmer with a chance to cut into this lead. First one's up and no good as we get a look at the replay. Live streaming is always about 15 seconds off, so we have the advantage of kind of our own replay here on the screen. So Palmer with one more. Team trailing by 4. Second one's up and good. So just 1:35 to go in this game. Again, a fast-moving game here at Webster-Thomas. Webster Schroeder with the 3-point lead. Inslee up top for the Warriors. Going to get a high ball screen. Content to just kind of milk this clock a little bit as we approach this 10 seconds on the shot clock. It's going to go right at Mason. They'll draw a double team, pull back, shot, good. Tough shot by Luke Inslee. Buried it. 5-point game, under a minute to go. And this Schroeder crowd is excited as Mason gets to the line, lays it up, gets the friendly roll, and back to a 3-point game. And we got a timeout. Griffin Cole's going to take a quick timeout, set up his defense. Probably going to see a little bit of full court pressure here. Have great moves on both sides of the court. Inslee on one with a nice step back jumper. And then on the other end, Mason quickly back down, gets in the lane with a little runner to cut the lead back to 3. So we're under a minute to play. The clock showing 5 minutes and 12 seconds. We're now 20 minutes. Looks like they're resetting the clock. So we're going to go with 50 seconds. That's what we have officially here on the scoring program. I want to thank everybody again for joining us for this broadcast. Really excited to be here in this, as we mentioned before, the first ever live stream broadcast from Webster-Thomas with the big rivalry game, Webster Schroeder and Webster-Thomas. We've been told about it, how much fun it is, and it's been pretty exciting so far, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, we got a 3-point game here for 50 seconds. It's crosstown rivalry games. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we talked about this a month ago when we did Pittsburgh versus Pittsburgh. Just kind of throw everything out the window. Don't look at stats. Don't look at results. Don't look at previous matchups. Just let the game play out. And that's, you look at these two teams on paper, and they're very similar, but you look at the records, you might say, oh, Thomas has a little bit of an advantage. But you get to actually play in the game, and that just cancels each other out. And, you know, we get exactly what we have here, a 3-point game with 51 seconds to go here at Webster-Thomas High School. So a little full court pressure by Thomas. They're going to have to force the action down by 3 and try to get a turnover and get the ball back. Extending it out a little bit. Nearly had the 10-second call, but able to get the ball over. And there it is, the deflection on the pass. The long hands from Garrett Reeves caused that turnover. And Thomas with a chance to tie this game. And there's Mason for 3. Good! So just like that, Andrew Mason ties this game up with a long three-pointer, and look at the Thomas crowd. They are loving it. This kid's hit some big-time shots, and none bigger than that one so far this year. He can really knock it down from downtown. Andrew Mason, 26 points a game, nearly 7 rebounds, shooting it from 42% from three-point range. He's got to be up around 20 points for today, so a little bit of a little bit lower than his normal scoring average, but he's played a very good game in other ways as well. So that was a big-time shot by Mason. Ties this thing up. 27 seconds to go. We got a tie game. That's all we can really ask for here. So let's see what Webster Schroeder can do. Obviously going to try to hold for this final shot of the game. Come out of here with the W. Webster Thomas's defense is going to have a little something to say about that too. So we'll see what they can come up with. Webster Schroeder ball, 23 seconds to go. Crowd on its feet. Tie ball game here. And we're going to have a timeout. Matt Spadoni is going to talk this one out as his team gets the ball over the midway point. So Wednesday night basketball here at O'Rourke Gymnasium at Webster-Thomas High School. I want to thank everybody once again for joining us here at Varsity Media Sports Video Productions. Glad you're joining our live stream. We do so many different things, including game film, highlight videos, team highlight videos, recruiting videos, live streaming, and even this year just started action photography. So if you ever have any sports video needs or sports photography needs, just visit varsitymedia.net. We'd be happy to help you out. We enjoy really working throughout Section 5 and also throughout Long Island, but specifically up here in Section 5 with pretty much every school in the area. And just, we have a passionate crew of guys that really just love sports video. So if you ever need help with your sports video needs, varsitymedia.net, we'd be happy to help you. And as we get back to the action, the Webster-Thomas fans are getting pumped up. They're ready for a big defensive play, and on the other side, Webster Schroeder, let's see what they came up with on their timeout. Game reset, 19.1 seconds to go, tied at 49. And this back and forth game between Webster Schroeder and Webster-Thomas, crosstown rivals. So a little pressure out top. Webster-Thomas really extending, almost comes away with a steal. Down under 10 seconds. Inslee's going to drive in. They're going to double team him along the way. He's still driving in, looks underneath with an easy bucket. That's Colin Donnelly with 1 second to go. Up and in, and what a play by Luke Inslee. To drive in the lane, draw 3 defenders, and find a streaking Donnelly right below the basket for the easy bucket. So you can't really draw that one up any better if you're Webster Schroeder.
That was an amazing pass.
Even looked like a little no-look pass as we look at our replay system, but might not exactly be what they drew up in the out-of-bounds play, but with the pressure that Thomas was forcing, you knew there were going to be some guys free, and that guy just happened to be Colin Donnelly, using his big 6'5" frame to lay that one off the glass and in. So it's not over. We still have 1.3. That's plenty of time to get a shot off.
It's probably going to be a Hail Mary.
Just a 2-point game. Yeah, that's more than likely going to be a long pass down the court. And look for a quick, you can even get a quick pass off in a shot, but it's probably going to be a quick turn and shot. And I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say we're going to be looking at number 15, Andrew Mason, who can knock it down from just about anywhere on the court. Now, this one really lived up to its billing. We were hoping for a good finish and a good game throughout, and we certainly got that. I think the biggest lead today of either team was about 7 points. So it's been within striking distance for both teams pretty much this whole game. So unlike girls basketball, boys still have to take the ball out of bounds on a timeout under a minute. So they're going to have to go the full length of the court. It's going to be Tyler Williams inbounding the ball for Webster-Thomas. He's going to heave it down. The ball's going to go over the hands of the player. And Webster Schroeder's going to come out of here with a big 51-49 victory. So well played by both teams, but you really got to tip your hat off to this Webster Schroeder team. They just kind of scrapped and stayed in this game, and they made the plays at the end when they needed to.
Absolutely.
So
with that win, they moved themselves up in sectional ranking as well. So
yeah, they were sitting right there, right about 9 before in Class AA. They're going to move their win total to 5-6 on the year, while Thomas is going to fall to 6-6. So both these teams are right there trying to move up in their sectional positioning as we have about 3-4 weeks left in the season. So as they fight to move up and get a better seed for Class AA sectional. So what a game here at Webster-Thomas High School. Exactly what we were hoping to see. It did not disappoint. The final here from Webster-Thomas High School, Webster Schroeder 51, Webster-Thomas 49. We want to thank everybody again for joining us here. We'll see you at the next one. Have a great night.